And sorry again, guys. The internet is magical. You know, sometimes it decides to work, sometimes it decides not to work. But we are here. I want to say thank you guys so much for your patience. I hope you guys are enjoying the FlyQuest series for the East. I am here with Bruno. So thank you so much for being patient. And we're going to go ahead and check out Punk's stream and finish up the match and what's cooking right now.
All right. Looking like we're in game one here. And again, Punk with the signature sweep. I love that from Cammy. Obviously, she's got a lot of long distance normals, and he's just so good at it. Oh my gosh, baiting out the amnesia. I'm not even sure what that was in response to, but sometimes that is the Punk effect. You just stand there menacingly, and you are motivated to action.
Yes. Oh, nice confirm. Got him in the corner. I don't know the score right now, so if somebody in the chat can update us the score, that'd be awesome. Archetype. Again, this character, you don't really have to interact as much as the player. The most you get close right here, this is when you kind of got to engage and pick options to kind of cover a lot of what he does. Good parry to drive impact. Want to try to burn them out? Yeah, that was real smart. Really going to try to burn them out? Yeah, that is game. That was just really smart from Punk. Punk calculated that really, really well. Opted to go for that too because it was perfect parry, it might have scaled. So he didn't want to risk.
So far in the set, and Punk is definitely going to be making adjustments to get accustomed to that. But I do love the parry attempt.
All right. Round two. Oh, nice. Going for that sweep is actually like -6. It was very, very hard to punish. I think -6 or -8, but I want to lean towards -6. But it's just very hard to punish that, especially at max range. One thing about JP is definitely has like a safe sweep, so having something like that is just so good.
Why do you know that? Why do you know the frame data on that scenario specifically, bro?
I mean, I dabble this game a little bit, you know. I play a lot, and you know, I'm just a student of the game, so you know, I learn. I may not know all of the frames for every scenario, but I understand like the concept of what the players think and why things happen the way it happened, and you know, just the excitement of like the interactions, especially player-to-player interaction.
Nah, but that's not student of the game stuff. That is tenured professor. That is PhD of the game type stuff. As I say that, Punk is able to get the light confirm into the level 3. CA is enough, tying things up in terms of rounds here. And I do think Punk had a game on the board. So if it's
and all of those straight hits and everything like that just did not pay off. That's what I mean about just being very confident and just understanding that, like, even though he's low on life, he's not afraid of testing how you are, because he kind of have an idea of how you're going to play out, especially when you're trying to get out of a bad situation. He understands that you are very stressed out and like you're very uncomfortable in those circumstances.
Yeah, walking back, if you're in an uncomfortable state, like you're mentioning, you kind of forget the other fundamentals, the things that got you to the loser semifinals in the first place, things like buttons to punish your opponent's attempt to get in. And this game is as much an emotional game as it is a cerebral one.
Yeah, buddy.
Oh my gosh, Abari.
Target combo into level 2. Level 2 is going to do a lot of damage, and it's going to send a full screen with a healthy drive gauge increasing to come back. But, you know, again, Punk was trying to make a decision to try to steal their way to not having to deal with that and not letting them get their drive meter back, but not working.
Bro, the fact that just JP has to stand there sometimes. Once he sends his minions out, wants to get that game there. And like I said, the decisions that you make, Punk winning the set 3-1 and advancing in the losers final, will be facing against Shine here in just a moment. But when you make audacious decisions like walking up and pressing buttons, and you're trying to retreat because your opponent has low drive gauge, so the opponent is trying to walk back. When you make audacious decisions like that, you are communicating to your opponent, I'm dialed in, I'm locked in. It's incumbent upon you to make a decision that's going to neutralize the pressure that I'm putting out, but like fighting games, a lot of this stuff, especially as the games go on and you have shown a lot of the cards that are in your hand, it's about like telling your opponent, I'm ready to go. Are you ready to answer what I've got going on?
Right. And I mean, just like that, I mean, you got to be very confident in your gameplay. So, you know, it was just really nice to watch. So that was good stuff for Punk. Now Punk is going to have to fight in losers finals. He's going to have to fight Shine. So it's going to be Shine versus Punk. I'm curious what Shine is going to play against Cammy, and you know how Grand Finals going to go.
And it really seems like Punk is locked in on the Cammy once he lost in the winner side with the Akuma. He's like, okay, I'm just going to commit to the Cammy. And I wonder what the calculus is when it comes to like the character choice, whether it's in preparation for some bigger tournaments, if it's like YouTube content, because I know he's done, you know, can I win a tournament with X character? And he's so adept at the game that he can do so. But it's one of those things that it's like, is it a matter of, you know, a key tournament that's coming up that he's trying to prepare for, or, you know, just trying to feel out his opponents? Like, what is some of the thinking going on in your head when you've got like a roulette of characters you're going to choose?
Well, it's interesting because, you know, him being a world-class player, you're going to have a lot of people that are going to play very differently when they play against you. And sometimes you're going to run against players that play your character. And, you know, some people don't like to opt to play in the mirror match. And, you know, from a high caliber standpoint, I feel like more like the modern games, the mirror matches becomes more of a snowball more than a actual strategy matchup. And I think most players want to play solid and want to have a clean game plan rather than a game plan that can persist on it being a, like, for example, like a gamble, like how we're going to play. Like, I'm going to just run you over. So I think just having like a bunch of characters, in my opinion, just on lock is just very, very important. And I think Akuma is one of his good characters as well. You know, he has a lot of variety of characters. So I think having that, especially, you know, just being one of the best players, like, you're going to have people running to you and, you know, playing anything crazy, especially in a mirror match. So you got to be ready.
That's exactly right. And I didn't even... might just that he's against him. But as we talk about that, we go into losers finals, Shine versus Punk, and you asked about what character Shine is going to be going for. We do see the selection of Kimberly starting off here, and the might was cooking at the end of that. I wonder if it's just like the calculus that you were just talking about, the, you know, certain character familiarity, certain matchups, like you prefer against different characters to go different characters yourself. So. Right. And it seems like it's paying dividends for Shine so far.
Yeah, I like, I really like this pick for Shine. I mean, I think his Kimberly is like on a different level. You know, mine's also up there too.
It was just like that's a coin flip type of scenario. You know, sometimes in those situations you wake up a level 3. Sometimes in those situations the overhead would land and you're able to get a meaty combo from it. Run, stop, punish, counter, throw from Shine, and this corner is where.
Yeah, there you go. Before we got them to the loop, we jumping out of the corner area, man. You don't want to be in the corner at all, especially against a player like Punk. You don't want to be in the corner. Just utilize and maximize the corner pressure so well.
That's exactly right. And here, not just the corner. Kimberly is one of those characters that makes any stage positioning in the corner because of the run stop pressure. I love the perfect parry on the arc step from Punk, and he's got like so many different options. We saw the target combo previously in one of the previous interactions, and then you see the sweep in that interaction. Punk is so aware of the options that he has to neutralize Kimberly's pressure.
Yeah, and you know, this is not the first time he did it. He did it the second time. This is the second time doing. He did it a round ago, and it's just crazy how, you know, having those options and utilizing them so well. And that was such a good, especially something that people are not ready for. No one's ready for a cross-up over.
All right, and we do cash out, spend the level 3 here in order to get a game on the board, tie things up 1-1. And I mean, he came back with a vengeance, that's for sure. I think you calling out that overhead, the elbow drop, like the air reset scenario is so ambiguous, and Kimberly players are so comfortable with it, where it's like players will typically opt to parry it because they don't know what side you're going to be on, but Shine absolutely making the most of it with the overhead. And oh my gosh, Punk able to DP through the elbow drop attempt from Shine.
Okay, back throw. Here we go. Oh, just disrespect there too. Get the EX spiral to get the corner swap. Now got him in the corner. This is very scary. And again, like Kimberly in this bad spot is really rough because she don't have a lot of reversal options. And I like how these guys are playing tug of war and putting each other in the corner. And I think now kind of playing a lot of neutral, kind of walking back and forth, trying to see what the players kind of see that.
It's the ODDP landing for Punk there to get the pressure off, but it's like one of those things where you need to make bold choices in this matchup against a player of these two caliber. You need to make choices that, like, okay, I'm going for big swings. It might not pay off. I might lose, but I might win because of it.
Right. Okay, nice low forward drive rush here. Target combo in. Off the loop. It's a very scary scenario. Okay, nice back throw.
And that Stand Fierce is so good from Kimberly. Obviously, one of the adjustments that was made previously. Stand Fierce is just such a reliable poke tool now.
Yeah, very reliable. Very nice. Level 1. Here we go. Yo finish.
That's one of the things that, like, those light confirms and cashing out in that scenario is one of the difference makers for the top players. Like, once I'm able to get the jab, I know that I have one drive rush cancel, and I know I have enough bar that if I spend, I know exactly how much damage it's going to do. I've been labbing this scenario over and over again in the training room. It's like one of those things that really sets apart the top level players.